Welcome back. We have a couple of brand new guests with us for a brand new segment here. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Hey everyone, my name is Julian Juka, and I am the Senior Director of New Relic Logs.
And my name is Mike Neville O'Neill, and I'm a Senior Product Manager on the Logs team at New Relic.
Yeah, and we are here to talk to you about all of the cool and amazing things we have going on over in the Logs land at New Relic. To set some context, New Relic Logs launched about a year ago, and we're built on top of the telemetry data platform, which Paul mentioned in the last segment. So telemetry data platform is all about, we want all of your data, send everything over. It's a place to visualize and alert and dashboard and explore. It's really, really cool. And as he said, you get 100 gig free a month, and it's perpetually free. Go and throw us your log data. That's that TLDR. We're built on top of the New Relic database inside of the TDP. So what makes us really interesting and unique is we have a homegrown database, which is this massive MapReduce engine as a way of storing all of our log data. Mike, what are your thoughts about it?
Well, I think that you raised some interesting points about our ability to make sense of customer data and to provide value based on it. And you list a number of impressive capabilities that folks can leverage. But before they can do any of those things, they need to be able to get their data into New Relic. And so we'll be focusing on a couple of new things that we're delivering within the realm of integrations and log forwarding magic. Principally, I think we're going to be focusing on Firehose and syslog. Julian, I'm not sure if you have anything you'd like to add to set the stage.
Yeah, one of the real core focuses that we have at New Relic is for New Relic Logs is trying to meet you where you are. We believe that in order to be a successful logging product, we need to connect into everything within your estate that's generating log data. And so we're always looking for new ways to connect in and make it as easy as possible for you to ship your logs, which incidentally is why we've got Mike on the call, who's the product manager for ingress and egress of log data. So Mike, what exciting things do you have up your sleeve?
Well, we can begin with a little something called AWS Firehose, which is our integration with AWS Kinesis. So we were actually leveraging our partnership with AWS to deliver an AWS Kinesis data delivery Firehose. That's a lot of words, but what it actually means is that it's a built-in output for you that's in AWS, native to the platform that you can use to send your logs to New Relic with just a couple of clicks of a button. You can see how easy it is on this hot GIF, which shows you the ability to select New Relic from a dropdown, copy and paste your key, and you're good to go.
I just want to, what did you call this looping image?
I referred to it as a hot GIF, which is a technical term that I don't care to elaborate on right now, but maybe we can take that discussion offline.
GIF stands for graphical interface format. It's graphical. That's how that's pronounced. I want to thank Aisha, too, for rating us just now. We had some guests join us from Aisha Code Stream just now. Welcome, everyone. We're here to talk about why Julian doesn't believe in birds primarily, but also logs, and we are so glad to have you with us.
I mean, I have to say, I strongly believe in logs. A lot of people say it's not particularly boring, logging, it's just a thing. We live for logging. That's our thing. That's our jam. And so specifically bringing us back to what's on screen at the moment, this Kinesis Firehose is really cool because it's just a single click to get going. There's so many ways within the logging world to do things. It's software, right? Like of course it's software. Of course you can do this. But within this realm of, I don't know which log forwarders I should be using. I don't know which format I should be using. Within Amazon, this just makes it really easy. You just click, send it to New Relic, add your license key, boom, the data shows up. It's really smooth. So I really like that. Solving problems, making it easy for customers to send us data.
Yeah, I think it'll make it a lot easier to get set up in the first place, and it'll make it a lot easier for customers as well when it comes to cost estimations. Lambdas are great. They're a useful tool for a number of different purposes, but it can be tricky sometimes to figure out how often they're going to be executing, how much resources they'll be consuming when they do so. whereas Firehose is priced based on throughput, so just how much volume of data you're moving through that pipe, which makes it a lot easier to figure out how much you're going to end up paying every month.
Yeah. In addition to this, we've had some other really cool integrations that we've been working with. So just to touch on it super quickly, we've been working with Cribl, and they've added us to their forwarder. Really amazing stuff coming out of those folks. And something that is near and dear to my heart, we now support Windows event logs within our infrastructure agent. For those playing at home, our infrastructure agent has a log shipper bundled inside of it. It's Fluent Bit. Hi, Eduardo. You do amazing work. And the Fluent family, obviously, it's more than just one person. And being able to interpret and understand these Windows event logs, again, it's part of this mantra that we have. We want to meet customers where they are. We want to make it easy for them to start getting value. We pride ourselves on listening to customers, and this was one of the blanks that we had, being able to install a single binary, get the infrastructure agent going, and get all of that value no matter what environment you're running on. And this is one of Mike's victories. He's the guy that brought this about. I just run Windows, so I'm really happy.
Well, I haven't seen you this excited about anything since the last time we talked about your views on birds. So this has to be something pretty serious.
Prove it to me. Prove it.
I can't show him the evidence.
So
as part of this, us kind of going through the high level of new ways
Michael,
of sending a
I'm
status.
sorry to interrupt you, but we just got rated again by 57 people from Pachi's stream who are very excited about being here. Thank you all for joining us, Pachi's stream. We have, wow, that's a lot of emojis. There are a lot of tiny Pachi faces popping up in our chat right now. I'll try and grab any questions out of there for you as we go forward. But
yes, so if anyone on the stream knows Portuguese, now is the time to speak a little.
Bom dia. Thank you all for coming. It's a pleasure for you. Now falo português. Enjoy your time here, though. I'll do my best.
So moving on, let's talk about the syslog integration that we've just gone and built. So Mike, what is syslog and why do people care?
Great question. Syslog is a protocol that has been here on our planet since the 80s, something that originally came out of, I think it was the SendMail project back in the day, and it has some staying power. I prefer to think of it as classic or vintage rather than legacy.
Rather than predating most people's cars.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's all about how you look at things. And here at New Relic, we're just relentless optimists. And that's how I choose to look at syslog. So Julian had mentioned a couple of times that we've been making an effort to meet our customers where they are. And that aligns pretty nicely with why we targeted syslog, which was really a no-brainer when you look at it like that, in the sense that it really is very nearly ubiquitous. Anywhere that you need to get logs out of, chances are our syslog or syslog-ng are already there. But more than that, we wanted to give our customers an agentless setup experience. So to give you the ability to send us logs without needing to install or configure any third-party software, even the open source forwarders that we support out of the box, like FluentD, FluentBit, and Logstash. So we're pretty excited about this. And as you'll see in this exciting demo, in which I'm going to enter some text into a box, and you'll see that text appear in another box.
You're going to bring the 80s to life on screen right now for everyone.
We're gonna bring it live to you. But the reason I'm excited about this is because I think it represents a really quick and easy way to get your logs into New Relic, particularly if you've already kind of invested in a syslog-centric log management strategy. All you really need to do is add a few lines to your existing config and you're up and running. So if you'll give me just a moment to get my screen share under control here, hopefully I've stalled long enough and we can actually get to demoing. So we're going to start in the most important area, which is, of course, the logs interface here in New Relic One. And I've got some data that I've sent previously from my host, but as you can see, I've got nothing coming in now. This is all old data. And what I'm going to do is run a query because I want to use the live tail so we can actually see the events as they stream in near real time shortly after hitting our listeners.
Because we're living in the future.
That's right. We're using old technology to leverage technology of the future in the cloud. I'm not sure how many more buzzwords I can get in there. So in this case, I want to filter my traffic, or not my traffic, but my results to only those events with the plugin type of syslog-newrelic. And this is something that we add automatically to your syslog data. So I know what I'm going to send is going to have this property, add it to the search, and let's enable that live tail. Now that we've got that going, it's time to configure some syslog. And we're going to take a look at a blog post written by a guy that I know. And there's a large number of words.
Is that guy you?
That guy is me. And I got to tell you, it makes it a lot easier to prepare for these Twitch streams if you just write an entire blog post about what you're going to cover in advance.
This
Luckily,
is like the ultimate version of here's one I prepared earlier. You're not whipping out a cake from the oven. You're whipping out a blog post.
we don't show the prep work on the Twitch stream. It's not about how the sausage gets made. All right.
Mike is like in Anchorman when he pulls the flute out of the suit. Like, I'm so unprepared for this. I have no idea this was happening.
I'm just here casually and informally chatting about syslog on Twitch. But while we're here, let's have a look at this blog post. So I've written a lot of words here that I do encourage you to read because they do deal with more interesting use cases and things like disk queuing, which you should do. But here we're all about just maximizing time to value. So what I'm going to do first is start at step one instead of getting excited and copying configuration info. And we're going to go ahead and install a couple of prerequisite packages that are necessary for our syslog to communicate with our endpoints over TLS. This is generally considered good because you don't want to be sending your information over the wire in clear text, and anyone can read it, which is bad. Now that we've installed those prerequisite packages, let's create
That's our logging 101 nugget for everyone out there. Sending logs in clear text is bad.
Yeah, just as a general rule, I feel comfortable stating that categorically. That if you can avoid doing it, maybe don't. So in this case, we're creating a text file in the etc rsyslog.d subdirectory. The reason I'm creating a separate text file is it just makes it easier to manage because our syslog by default is going to pick up anything with a .conf in that rsyslog.d directory. So now that I have created that text file, it is time to populate it with this configuration info that you see here. We'll go ahead and paste it in, and there's really not much to it. I would feel pretty comfortable describing this as a minimally complete configuration, where there's really only two sections. The first defining the format in which your logs needs to be kind of transformed in order for us to ingest it on the syslog endpoint side. And then another section configuring TLS and log forwarding. And that's really it. So what I need to do before I can go ahead and save this is replace the giant capitalized your NR insert key with my Insights Insert API key.
We're judging you a Vim foo right now. You better get this right.
I know. I'm definitely feeling the pressure, and I can barely see my cursor because I had to make the font a different size. I'm making a lot of excuses already.
As long as you can exit, I think you'll impress everyone on the stream if you successfully exit Vim.
I'm just impressed with the color choices of the terminal. You're really living this syslog vibe.
I like the Amber terminal. I like it, when I'm working in iTerm. I like it in Fallout. I'm nothing if not consistent. So we have updated our configuration file. The next step is to give the service a kick. And now that we've done that, let's take a look at that live tail. And we'll add ourselves a logging message. How about hello world? That's a fairly popular choice.
I've heard of that one before. Yeah.
And then what we should see, depending on the last time I logged in,
there it is down the bottom.
Give that another shot. This is what happens when you let your session get stale. But we've got our logs flowing in, and there's hello Twitch as well after just a few seconds. So pretty exciting. We've gone from 0 to logs in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and again, why this is really cool is, I joke about this being from the 80s, but there are people out there who are running mainframes, who are running on SaaS or PaaS providers who don't have the ability to go and install a modern log forwarder like FluentBit. And those people are stuck with syslog. If you want to get your logs sent over from a Heroku, syslog, right? Or a CDN, syslog. So it's really cool. This is just a very simple way for people who have legacy systems who are running on SaaS providers to be able to ship their data to us with a minimal set of configuration.
It's also handy if you've got security concerns and there's third-party software you don't want to put on restricted assets or infrastructure. So always good to have an option.
So moving beyond the shipping aspect, we've been busy toiling away for the last couple of months. We've got a couple pretty cool UI features that we want to just brush on really quickly. So I don't know if we want to go screen share. Yeah, let's keep going with the screen share. So one that really excites me is Save Views. We recently rolled this out, and it's the ability to, as you'd expect, run a query, save it, and it remembers that configuration. It remembers the query that you've done. So this is the use case of I'm always looking at my prod environment, maybe a specific host, be able to define that, have a save view for prod, have a save view for Julian's host. And you can share that. You can share that with your friends, with your family, have casual conversations on a Sunday about it. It's just allowing you to very quickly widen all of that noise to what's relevant for you. In addition to that, Mike has been toiling away at some pretty cool export functionality. You want to talk about that?
I sure do. So we have been working on an early access feature that's going to give users the ability to export logs directly from the log table. So when you're running your searches, you're getting those results. Sometimes the occasion arises where you need to share those logs with your colleagues, or maybe you even want to feed that data into a different tool, whether that's for some unforeseen use case that you want to whip up on the fly. What's interesting, I think, about this over and above the functionality it provides is kind of the way in which we're planning to roll it out, which is this early access model. Pretty much one of the questions I think that keeps the entire logging product team awake at night is, are we solving your most important problems? And we're always hoping the answer to that is yes, but the best way for us to figure that out is to talk to you. And the early access programs really help us out in that regard. And so the approach we're taking with the export feature is we've got an alpha, it's ready to go, enabled for 5% of our customers at random. So go ahead, log in, check your action menu, maybe you're a lucky winner. If not, I invite you to solicit your account team. Go out there and let them know that this product manager called Mike, who's on a Twitch stream, and he said that you personally could get early access to log export. They will find me. Trust me.
Yeah, I really do want to drive that home. We spend a lot of time running alphas trying to get feedback, because otherwise, how do we know? And we really want your opinions. I will listen. We will all listen. So we want to make sure that we're doing it right. We've got a whole bunch of really exciting stuff coming out soon that we've been toiling away on. So I really encourage you to dive in and watch this space. So what have we covered in this? We've talked about partnerships, talked about Mike's passion for 1980s themed terminals and getting data in from all kinds of different sources, as well as getting data out of the platform and our passion for alphas. Anything else that we can help you with? Anything log related? Otherwise, I think we're good.
I have a haiku for you as well. Thank you for coming on the stream. Are you ready? You
Always.
Seem to love logs. Cribl murder cat scares me. And birds do exist.
You raise a really good point of what is this murder cat? This murder cat is Logtar. This is our unofficial logging team mascot. So whenever we're talking about logs, we tend to have Logtar floating around and giving us a hand, soaring through all of that logging nonsense.
Are there Logtar stickers?
There are.
I'm going to need some of those.
Stickers.
Oh my God. Okay.
They're Logtar hats.
We need to do a Logtar Ellie the Pelican mashup sticker.
Oh my gosh. There's a Santa Logtar in the Slack. This is changing my whole life right now.
It's amazing. I really like the logo. Well done. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the stream with us today. I really appreciate you all joining us.
Hey, thanks for having us. Always happy to talk about logs.